All right, so get this. You know those hugs, right? The ones we give and get all the time.
Mm.
Well, turns out they're doing way more for us than we thought.
It really is amazing when you think about it.
I mean, we all know hugs feel good, but this article you sent over about the science behind them was like, whoa,
Yeah, the science behind it is really fascinating.
seriously. Boosting the immune system, lowering stress hormones, even helping with pain.
It's true, it's all connected, and that's exactly what we're going to explore today in our deep dive.
Love it. Let's get into it. So first things first, what's actually going on in our brains when we hug? What's the science behind that warm and fuzzy feeling?
Well, it all starts with hormones, really. When we hug, our brains release a flood of oxytocin.
Ah, oxytocin, the love hormone.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But it's not just about feeling all lovey-dovey. Oxytocin actually helps reduce fear and anxiety.
Really? How so?
It works by dampening the activity of the amygdala, which is the part of our brain that basically acts as a threat detector.
Oh, okay. So basically a hug is like sending a signal to our brains that, hey, everything's cool, we're safe.
Exactly, like a little all clear signal. And on top of that, hugging also triggers the release of serotonin and dopamine.
Wait, are those the same things that get released when we eat chocolate or listen to our favorite music?
There is some overlap there. Serotonin and dopamine are major players in our brain's reward system.
Ah, see.
So yeah, whether it's a delicious treat or a warm embrace, your brain's getting that signal. This is good. Do this more.
Okay, so I'm convinced about all the brain chemistry stuff, but what about the actual, tangible health benefits? The article talked a lot about stress and anxiety relief, which, let's be honest, is something we could all use a little more of these days.
Oh, absolutely. One of the most well-documented benefits of hugging is that it lowers cortisol.
Cortisol, that's the stress hormone, right?
Yep, that's the one. And you know that feeling you get when someone gives you a hug, like right when you need it most? That tension melting away,
Yeah.
that's cortisol decreasing, allowing your body to chill out.
Makes sense, like a natural stress antidote.
You could say that.
Okay, the article also mentioned benefits for heart health, which I thought was kind of surprising at first.
Yeah, well, more and more research is showing that hugs can actually lower heart rate and blood pressure. There was even one study that found people who received more hugs had lower resting heart rates.
Wow, that's incredible.
It is, and that's a big deal for long-term cardiovascular health.
Okay, what about this immune system boost? I have to admit, I was kind of skeptical about that one.
Yeah.
How does hugging actually make our immune system stronger?
This is one of those things that's just super cool. Hugging and actually any kind of physical touch, it stimulates these pressure receptors in our skin.
Okay.
And those receptors, they activate the vagus nerve, which is super important for regulating our immune response.
Vagus nerve, remind me what that is again.
Think of it like a superhighway connecting your brain to a bunch of your organs, like your heart, your lungs, even your digestive system.
Oh, right, right.
So by stimulating the vagus nerve, hugging can actually boost your body's defenses.
That's wild. So it's like giving your immune system a tune-up.
Exactly.
So, okay, we've got hugs being good for our hearts, our stress levels, and our immunity. Seriously, I'm starting to think we need to be hugging way more.
I think you might be right about that. And, we can't forget about the impact on mood and mental health either.
Right, right.
Those feel-good chemicals we were talking about before, the serotonin and dopamine, they're really powerful for fighting off depression and loneliness.
It's funny, you don't even have to be feeling down. Just getting a hug can lift your spirits.
That's so true. It's like an instant mood boost.
It really is. And speaking of feeling better, the article mentioned something about hugs helping with pain relief.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, how does that even work?
So when we hug, our bodies release endorphins, and endorphins are our natural painkillers. They work by interacting with receptors in our brains to reduce how much pain we feel. It's the same thing that happens when we rub a sore muscle or take a deep breath to manage pain.
So it's like our bodies have this built-in pharmacy of feel-good chemicals that hugs can unlock.
Exactly.
It's pretty amazing. But it's not just about the physical benefits, is it? There's this whole emotional and social component too.
Oh, 100%. Hugs are such a powerful way to offer nonverbal support, especially when someone's going through a rough time. Times of grief, sadness, loneliness. Sometimes words just aren't enough.
Yeah, I get that.
And a hug can convey so much empathy and understanding and comfort.
That reminds me of this quote I read in the article by family therapist Virginia Satter. She said, "We need 4 hugs a day for survival, 8 for maintenance and 12 for growth.
Yeah, that's a classic. I mean, the exact numbers are probably a bit of an exaggeration.
Probably, yeah.
But honestly, the message behind it is so true. We're wired for touch. Like, it's a basic human need. We need that physical connection to really thrive.
So, okay, how do we get more of this hug magic into our lives? I know the article had some good suggestions.
Starting and ending the day with hugs for the people you love is such a good way to boost that sense of connection and just create a positive atmosphere at home.
Makes sense.
And, another thing is just being mindful of the people around us. Maybe a friend or colleague needs that nonverbal support more than they even realize.
Right, right.
Sometimes a hug is worth 1,000 words.
You know, my favorite suggestion was
What's that?
self-hugs.
Ah, yes.
Lisa, sometimes you just need a little solo hug, just for yourself, just to boost your own spirits.
Don't underestimate the power of a good self-hug. Crossing your arms, giving yourself a little squeeze.
Exactly.
They can do wonders for releasing those feel-good hormones and giving yourself a sense of comfort.
I love it. So there you have it, folks, a deep dive into the incredible world of hugs. Who knew something so simple could be so good for us?
It really makes you think. Sometimes the most basic human interactions are the ones that have the most profound impact on our well-being.
Absolutely. So next time you're giving or getting a hug, remember, it's not just a gesture of affection. It's like tapping into this powerful system that's wired into our biology. It makes you wonder what other simple acts might be out there just waiting to be discovered with hidden potential for healing and happiness.
That's a great question to ponder.
It is.